Hey everybody, welcome to the garden. I hope you're having a great day. Shout out to the lemon and lime lovers and everybody in between. It's time for the crypto market recap. Let's hop into these charts, see what the story is and what it may be. And remember, if you're interested in any of the services I provide, please check the links in the description below for both the Patreon and Discord. Okay, so we're going to go over Bitcoin, Solana, and Avalanche today, as we are currently long all three positions. And we're also going to take a quick look at XRP, as I do want to go over its chart just a bit. And I have two assets that have been requested by members in the Discord. So I'm going to take a look at BNB, Binance Coin, and Amazon stock. Okay, so let's start with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, we see that it had a nice bounce off of this green trend line. We've been, keeping our eye on this trend line for many days, 2 weeks. We are currently back in this rising wedge, which is bearish. We did have a bullish breakout of it until we retested this red trend line here, which, Bitcoin failed off of, made a bearish flag, and then came right back into that rising wedge. So, overall, still midterm bearish. But we do have beautiful short-term price action that's bullish, and we're going to be targeting somewhere from 42,000 to 43,000 to possibly close out the long. If we should see a bullish impulse higher, let's say Bitcoin gets to those levels, breaks higher, and then eventually gets to the top of the wedge, look for this wedge to play a significant role. It is likely, even now, that Bitcoin does respect it and come under. But should Bitcoin break higher, after a pattern's been previously broken, okay? After a bearish pattern's been broken bullishly in the past and then fallen back into, and then once more broken bullish, it's very likely that that pattern is no longer valid, okay? So should that happen, should Bitcoin break out again of this bearish rising wedge, the pattern's broken. But Bitcoin's still in a bearish pattern, even if that wedge breaks. Because what did we see last video? Well, take a look at this. Look at the red line, and then look at this line here. Let me change the color, the thickness, make it very clear. This thick black line here, what do you see? Steep fall from the top, and it's just consolidating in. Another rising pattern, looks like a bear flag. So we have this rising wedge that's definitely here, but we definitely do see a bearish flag formation. So even if this wedge does break, all it does is extends the borders out from here to here, and it's still bearish. All right, so we do want to keep this in mind. We got to stay as unbiased as we can. When we were short, this is great news. As we're long, this is not great news. All this is that, hey, we have to make sure we understand the context of what we're in. So when we do, go long, right? I know that this can turn over any time and come down to the bottom here. It's not impossible. And because I know that, that brings me peace. And I hope that does for you as well. So it makes us stay realistic, all right? And that's what you want to be. You want to be realistic and be able to roadmap all the pathways so nothing surprises you. So we're going to definitely be aiming for 42K or 43K depending on price action looks. And then, once we take our profits there, whether it's partial or the full position, I'm leaning towards a full position, taking it completely off. Then we'll see. Bitcoin might have more upside, and in my opinion, that would just lead us to possibly get into great positions to open short. All right, and then play out this pattern. And we'll just keep rinsing and repeating. Right? It's served us well so far. We're going to continue to do it. Let's not, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, as they would say. So far, so good. So if you're along with me, we're in a comfortable spot. We got in around the bottom here, and we're just going to see if we can get another impulse higher towards 42K. I'm mapping it out around, 1 to 2 days. So from today to the end of this week, I think we should probably see some sort of move there towards the upside. If it shouldn't happen, let's just say it goes against us, comes back down towards this trend line here. It will hold for a while, but eventually breaks. So let's just say it breaks straight down. Well, guess what? It gets to this longer term. This is going to be very strong support, guys, okay? So there's going to be a very strong support level, this ascending trend line. We can add on there. We can comfortably add on there It will bring our average entry low. And where is price likely to test once it bounces from here? Well, guess what? This trend line here, this ascending trend line, which should get us right back to probably 40K to 41K. So, we're in a very good place, very little exposure, everything's under control. All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to stay vigilant, we're going to stay patient, and of course, we are always going to stay nimble. All right. So let's go on to Solana. See what that's looking like. All right. So Solana, beautiful bounce so far off of this support line. We got in pretty low as well. I want to say towards this, actually right around $100, maybe a little over, but very little over. And we're currently sitting in the money very comfortably. I do see Solana getting towards 110. You'll see it got really close this day on the 12th, which is, it's right about 109, 109.50. So 50 cents off. 110 is my general area. I want to take profit, maybe 113. But yeah, I do see some upside here. It's possible, if Bitcoin starts showing weakness, you'll see some sort of consolidation pattern that is bearish for Solana, but it's more likely to get a bit more of a push higher, and then probably see some selling there. But again, we'll watch and see. And if, let's say, Solana does what? Reverses on us, which is possible, guess where we're going? We're going to this trend line here, and that's exactly where we'll add on. Because what will happen? What's the most probable thing that'll happen? Price will bounce right back and come towards this trend line, or even towards here. Okay, it'll come towards a higher zone here, and our average entry will likely be somewhere around this zone or even lower, depending on the percentage that we add on with. Okay, so we're in a very nice position on all three of our trades. And if Solana should break under this level here at 98, this zone here has a lot of support, a lot of confluence. You see this horizontal support at $82, and then this very strong ascending line that's going to act as a very strong support. So let's keep our eye on it. And either way, we're ready to take profits or we're ready to add on. Let's take a look at Avalanche next. Avalanche was a beautiful trade. I mean, this is out of the three, this is the best trade we've had so far. We're still in the long, but this one, we literally got the tick at the bottom. So that bottom wick right here at like $72.72, we just hit it. I mean, I think we're at $72.92. It was absolutely a perfect entry, no drawdown, and now we're sitting deep in the money with Avalanche. And Avalanche, out of all of the three trades we're in, I see the most percentage possible gain here, because I'm aiming towards $82 to maybe $85. Should I get either of those, this will give us a lot more breathing room to let Solana play around, right? So our risk will become even lower, our exposure will come even lower, and we will have made very good profit in a very quick amount of time. So, we're going to let Avalanche do its thing, but $82 to $85 is what I'm aiming for. And hopefully within the next day or two, we get that push. So far, so good. Should Avalanche just reverse all of a sudden, well, guess what? Same thing, $69.54 to $72 will be the general zone where we can, see a lot of support. And since that's fairly close to our entry, adding on there won't be the best decision. It's not something I'll be aiming for, but the bounce back towards this trend line is likely, which will mean we'll be right back in the money. So this is a great trade. So little risk here, such a good entry. And that's really the power of being patient. You see, that is why I always end every video with staying vigilant, staying patient, and being nimble. This is a beautiful example of that. All right, so let's take a look at XRP. So XRP, within that green zone of accumulation, as it's been for, it feels like ever. But like I've said before, as we're all aware, there's many members in the group, including myself, that's invested in XRP. We're all aware of the SEC lawsuit. But looking at the chart, it's a bearish chart, guys. Okay, so this is a bearish chart. It broke structure. It broke this structure here. It's coming lower. But I want to make something very clear. This is okay. So not looking at the lawsuit, we don't know what the outcome of that lawsuit is going to be. We know from the things we're seeing and the documents that are being revealed that a lot of corrupt activities were happening. But no one should be surprised about that. You're dealing with the government, okay? But we also don't know if any of that's going to matter. We don't know if XRP will be labeled security anyway. We don't know if Ripple's going to face another lawsuit after this. We don't know the future. All we know, at least all I know, my edge is the charts, okay? And the charts are bearish. And when you see a bearish chart on an asset you believe in, you should not be upset. You should be extremely happy. You should be extremely grateful. If you believe in XRP, if you believe that Ripple's, utility plan, you believe their business that revolves around XRP success is something that will work, then you want lower prices. Because yes, you might have bought in years ago. But if they succeed in even a fraction of what they want to do, 50 cents, 65 cents, 70 cents, these are prices that you'll never get back. Okay? So you want to keep that mindset. You don't want to say, oh my gosh, I'm losing. You want to see, oh wow, something that's really valuable to me is on sale. You don't want to be buying at $1 or $1 plus. You want to be buying down here. Again, this is not financial advice, and this is not just about XRP. This is about anything of value. Okay, if you have a stock, a company that you're interested in, you don't want to buy it when it's more expensive. Who does that? That's what the losers do, right? What have I been showing you since you've been watching my videos? The smart money buys lower. Okay? The smart money buys lower. They're the ones that drag the sellers down. The dumb money gets dragged by the sellers buying higher. And what always happens to them? Am I not proof of it? Have we not shown enough successful trades to show you that this always happens 80 to 90% of the time? Do you want to be this person up here? You want to buy things that you believe in, that show potential, especially something like this that you think might change an entire industry when it's cheaper, not when it's more expensive. And if you think it's going to change an entire industry, well, what's another 5 years? What's another 10 years? Again, I know that's hard to hear, but the point is, Amazon took 20 years to get to thousands of dollars. The person who bought at $5, $10, $100 doesn't even think about having to wait the 10 years prior. Okay? So keep that mindset. It'll get you through the tough times, because it's been tough times. All right? So if you're looking to buy more or enter XRP for the first time, if it should play out as the chart is showing, we're likely going to see some sort of bearish structure forming here. And we'll probably see a 62 to 65 cent XRP at some point. That would be a great time to start. Again, this is not financial advice. This is just my opinion as someone who's been in XRP for many years. I have not bought for accumulation. I haven't bought XRP for accumulation in a long time. Okay, I've traded it, but I haven't bought it for a long time. This would be the first zone where I'm thinking it's worth it. And then if it should get to the 50 cent mark, that is a very good area to start accumulating for years and years to come. Again, that's if you believe in this project. This is not because I'm telling you or anyone else is telling you have to believe, and you have to understand the risk. You are dealing with an unknowable outcome with the SEC. Okay? We do not know what may happen. So this is at your own risk. Okay? All right, so let's get to BNB, as this was requested. All right, so BNB, okay, so we drew some time ago this rising wedge, and played out perfectly. And so far, we've come back down to this support, and so far so good. This chart is actually not too bad. It had a beautiful break of this descending trend line, very strong break, and it was a very strong trend line. And then it tested this pretty significant support down here at 330. And now it's making a decent move towards. I'm gonna say this likely is gonna get towards 480 to maybe 500. It depends if Bitcoin can make it move towards towards 44,000. You might see this get towards 500. Out of a lot of the charts we've seen, this isn't the worst. It's not. I won't call this an inverse head and shoulders. It's not clean enough. I really dislike how it's structured. This honestly does give me some bearish vibes. Okay, All right, this does have a bearish sort of undertone to it. The thing is, it doesn't. The price action makes me a little bit wary to be really bearish on this. I do think you might see a 480 to $500 Binance coin again. Okay, I still think this is bearish though. Okay, like midterm, because you have this structure here that's come down, and now you have this rising structure. So it's similar to Bitcoin and the other altcoins. It's just the price action within it is very nice for the bulls, right? You have some very nice, because what I mean by that is really strong buying, and the selling isn't weak, but it's been met really well, especially this rally here from March 13th and up. Beautiful move. And then the selling here, not too bad at all. Not too bad, like tit for tat almost. You have a big drop here. Most 70% of that candle was taken back. Then it almost got engulfed but failed. Another bar here, finally broke under, and then look at the fighting. Like there's a lot of fighting here. There's a lot of demand here. It's not really clear, but the structure overall is bearish. So you do want to keep that in mind. Just do not be surprised if you see a nice move towards the upper part of this pattern, which is going to be around $500. Well, maybe a little lower, like 480-ish. Yeah, because I didn't really draw this super cleanly, but you get what I mean. This is pretty compared to a lot of the other coins we've been looking at. And let's take a look at Amazon, as that one was requested as well. Amazon stock. Okay, so let me close that out, and let's see. So, all right. So this is the daily chart. So I'm gonna go to the monthly, but I do want to mention I'm gonna see if the monthly. I have not looked at this chart, so I'm gonna see if the monthly validates what I'm saying here. This is usually a topping sort of structure. You could see it as a range as well being formed, like a longer term range, but more like you see something like that here, right? So look at this. This is kind of smaller, but this is what I'm seeing happening right here. It's not exactly the same. The idea is you're having a topping pattern. This is much bigger. Because look at this, like you have people, especially for Amazon, it's such a high quality company. Buy the dip mentality is going to be extremely powerful for a company like this. Any discount you could get on something of high value, like Amazon, you're going to want to buy. So there's a lot of people who will buy the dips hard. So it takes a lot for this to move down. It'll take a long time. So off the daily, when the trend has finally slowed down, you get patterns like this, and this trend, this was parabolic, right? So this is something where this is going to be a much more dramatic fall should it happen. So you know what, let's go on the monthly, and then we'll go to the weekly, and then we'll come right back to the daily and see if there's like another, we'll see if there's if things are clear that way, right? So let's do that. So whoops, I went too far back. So back to Amazon. So let's go on the monthly and see. Wow. Look at that. Okay. Oh wow, look at that. Oh, yep, topping for sure, and actually confirmed. So I don't know if you can see it, but what do I see? I see a wedge. I see a rising wedge that's confirmed, and it looks like it's confirming as we're going through the month. So there's a monthly candle, monthly candles, monthly chart. So for the newcomers to charts, every candle represents one entire month. So let's draw this line here. Look at this, guys. Oh, whoa. Look at that. Wow. Do you see it? Do you see this? Ooh-wee. Oh boy. Yeah, so this is a bearish pattern. Bearish pattern. What have I been saying? I'm going to say it one more time. I know you're tired of it, but I'm going to say it. Bullish patterns do what? They tend to trend down. Bearish patterns do what? They tend to trend up. And look at that. Broke under. And so far it's respecting the bottom of this line here, of the wedge. Off the monthly. Again, there's about 16 days left, so anything can happen. Anything can happen. But so far, these past 2 months, not including this month, it's been respecting this. Okay, and if this should confirm over the next couple years, because this is a monthly candle, so next couple years, maybe a year, maybe a little more, you might see a $2,000, $2,050 Amazon. Right, this is very strong a very strong level of support that's coming in. You know, if it comes any lower than this, you know, you could probably assume that the whole stock market, pretty much the economy, we're in a depression or at least a major recession. Okay, so you know this is looking good to happen if this confirms. We do have to give this some time because take a look. You know, it's like this is likely we might see this on the smaller time frames. This is probably some sort of bearish pattern right here within these 3 months, and then this big sell-off. This is probably a bearish pattern. So you know, let's go to the weekly. So we see on the monthly here, this was a bearish pattern that so far is playing out. Let's see on the weekly what we see. Okay, so the weekly, it's not as clear, but this could also be a wedge of some sort or a flag. Though the pole, I don't like it, but this could be bearish as well. It hasn't made it to any horizontal supports that I'm interested in. I would say for the weekly, this would be the level horizontally that you would want to see somewhere around here. So 2250 to 24 to 2500. So 2250, 2500, this box here. You know what? Let's actually build that out so it's a little clearer. So we'll go from here to here. So this would be the general zone I would want to see to get to on the weekly, and you'll probably get a pretty major bounce from there. And let's see, anything else? We'll take a look at this. So the longer, this is probably where it's going to get to. Okay, so this is probably where it's going to get to. Look at this longer term trend line. Look at that. That's gorgeous. That's perfect. That's perfect structure. So we have, you know, really since this rally in 2015, you know, coming down from there and then coming up, we've had this trend line holding as support for the entire bull market for Amazon since. And look at the confluence. Look at the confluence. So you know, I'm not saying it's going to get down here right now, but as the weeks go on, as we get towards November, December, later Q4, Q3, Q4, this is going to be a level that might be where you see Amazon at. Okay, there's a lot of confluence here, a lot of strength here to be bought. So we do want to keep our eye on this. So yeah, if you're long, you know, if you have shares in Amazon, you're long it or whatever, you know, honestly, it's very likely to see more downside. But you know, if you're looking to get in, like this will be prime. If you can wait, which you should, this be prime. A beautiful place to get in. I mean, if it loses this level, you know, Amazon's very bearish. You know, for you know, clearly, if it loses this level, it's a very bearish chart. You'll still get the bounces, of course, but it's very bearish. Let's take a look at the daily, because I want to see if this price action here, ends up being anything. It looks somewhat like a rising structure, but okay. You know, I do see it possibly forming. Again, this is very immature though. Okay, so take this part with a grain of salt. So let's take a look what happened here. So you know, price from up here at 37.62. You know, let me turn on the pivot, that way people can see the prices. So 37.62.14. You see price come from up there, comes down here to 27.07. Then another rise to 32.76. So this is a high. Then we have a low. Now we have a lower high from this high. So a lower high at 32.76 from 37.62. So that's a lower high. And look at this, 26.71 is now a lower low from 27.07. So that you know, now we're seeing a trend, but look what just happened. So it rallies higher during March, mid-March, and we break this high of 32.76 to make it 34.16. So we officially have broken that high, and look at what we see happen today, a bullish engulfing candle after, you know, pretty decent sell-off. So this could possibly be another short-term bottom, low pivot here that's formed, which would mean a higher low from 26.71 has been possibly made. It's not confirmed. And then we have this line to here, and look at that, a rising wedge, another bearish pattern in confluence with the larger monthly pattern here. Right? So, because this is the monthly pattern's bottom of the wedge right here that's coming through. So, and where's the resistance you see? Look at where this matches up. This matches up right with along this bottom pivot right here. Wow. See, this is the coolest thing about charts to me. It's like you start seeing all this confluence that's just matching. So, you might see Amazon make a move towards 3,300, and it's very likely you'll start seeing it stall out as it starts fighting that monthly pattern of that wedge that's broken through. So, if we get there, this might be a great place to open short, to be honest. But if you're bullish on this chart on Amazon, you gotta be very careful. And I would say, you probably have the right mindset to be bullish in the long term, right? Like if you're looking to go, for a long-term position, you're willing to wait for that great position. Well, this is it, right? You're going to have to wait some time. If you're really patient, you might be able to get a life-altering entry. Okay? So, and this goes back to my XRP comment, right? So if you really believe in this company, which, Amazon is not too hard to believe in considering how useful it is. We can all agree it's very useful. Then waiting some years to buy, and then waiting more years for that buy to turn into something that brings you wealth, it's not too crazy, right? It's not out of the realm of expectation. So if you believe like another project like XRP is like that, again, I'm not saying it is, I'm just saying if that's what you believe, then why would you complain at buying something that's super valuable to you at a better price? So I think that's the healthiest mindset to have when you're looking to invest. All right, when you're trading, that's different, but when you're looking to invest, that's the healthiest mindset in my opinion. Maybe I'll go over that as time goes forward, for the newcomers, and maybe as a refresher just for myself and other people. We trade all the time. All right, so I think that's it for today. If you enjoyed the analysis, you enjoyed the content, please let me know. Leave comments. You can always message me on Discord. I'd love to hear your feedback. And, like, subscribe if you like. You don't have to, but if you like, please do so. And most of all, share it. If you feel that this is valuable and you think I can help other people, if you found some aid in it, people that you care about or good friends or anything, please, send them my way. I'll do my best to bring them value, the same as if I've brought you value. And yeah, that's about it. So, remember guys, to be patient, to be vigilant, and be nimble. Love you guys. Take care. Bye.